Greetings and salutations, this is Paratrooper and his trusty sidekick.
Hello.
This is an unboxing video for the German fallschirmjäger, which is basically German paratroopers. The figures you get in the box are typically mid to late war. They're not really that good for early war. However, we have a few things which we're going to be doing with them which might make it interesting, but you'll have to watch that in a later video. I'm going to pop the box open and see... Oh, careful with this one. They only just fit. Right, as with all... There's some nice little figures there. As with all figures of this ilk, you get the usual basing. However, with these bases, you get additional bits on these bases. Usually the bases come in a big sheet. They come in a big sheet like that. But these ones come in a sheet like so, which is really cool. So these are the actual figure sprues. Just swap them around, getting them all in the right order. And what we get is a nice collection of poses, quite similar to the poses in the Blitzkrieg and infantry box. I haven't seen the later war German boxes, so I don't know really about them. The biggest difference is the legs and everything are attached, whereas with the early war box the legs are all separate, so you can do them in different poses. Whereas with these you just get one standard pose sort of reduplicated. Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. Helmet and head wise, I think this is the best thing about the box. You get a really good collection of heads and helmets. They're more the parachute helmet shape than the German army helmet. It's a sort of rounded helmet which is really to protect your head when you're parachuting, more than the German style helmet which is to protect your head from rain. You get a nice little collection of weapons as well. You get some really nice little close combat weapons. There's a guy there carrying an MG34. Which is just awesome. I'd like to see you actually fire an MG34. I've held one and they weigh a huge amount.
But like you said, they train soldiers to carry things that are heavier than what they're going to be using.
All the same, firing an MG34 from the hip would be mad.
Like a Thompson.
Yeah, like a Thompson. I mean, God, a Thompson is a submachine gun and that weighs a huge amount.
The Germans hated it.
Yeah, the Germans didn't like it at all. They actually used to order Thompsons from the Americans before the Second World War started. In fact, Germany was more or less the biggest export market to the American armaments, which is interesting. So you get a really nice little selection of weapons and stuff, and of course you get the anti-tank gear as well. So you've got quite a few units you can make this into. So you can have yourself a few anti-tank units and other infantry types as you put them together. It depends really what you're doing. Questions?
What was their specialty?
They're assault troops. They're light infantry assault troops.
So like anti-infantry, anti-tank,
Anti-infantry, typically. They were originally founded as paratroopers, and in the early war they did a lot of paratrooping. Unfortunately, they got absolutely massacred in the Battle of Crete.
So is that why the early war isn't on?
Yeah,
box?
well, when they hit the Battle of Crete, they lost a lot of soldiers. They still won though, I mean they captured Crete, but Hitler was sort of very negative towards the paratroopers after that. Because he considered it a waste of men, a waste of well-trained men. So instead the paratroopers became infantry. And they just fought on foot and they didn't really use planes. They were the odd parachute operation after Crete, but not that many. But certainly the very early part of the war there was lots of paratrooping going on. So really you will find these troops fighting on foot throughout the Second World War. Any more?
What's the name stand for?
fallschirmjäger. It means falling infantry.
Falling infantry.
Yeah, I would assume. I don't know fallschirm. Don't know. I should look it up. Really. I never really thought about it before, to be honest. Jaeger is light infantry. Or light infantry scouting troops. So that's basically what they are. Some fallschirmjäger units actually had tanks. They were equipped with stugs, which are sort of a tank with the turret taken off and a big gun fitted into it.
Yeah.
But generally they were just infantry. They didn't really go. They weren't particularly mechanised. One fallschirmjäger unit in Russia actually rode horseback.
Really?
Yeah, they actually rode horses. No, they didn't fight on horseback with swords. They just used the horses to get around.
Use a car.
Have you seen the roads in Russia?
And the paratroopers when they just drop out of a plane.
You know, it's actually really hard getting a load of men into a plane and dropping them somewhere. You know, generally people get killed even if you're not.
Yeah,
fighting.
I know how hard it is when.
We saw the 50th anniversary of Market Garden, Bridge Too Far. We were at Ginkle Heath, which is near Nijmegen. No, it's it's the other side. It's above Arnhem. And we watched the was it the Dutch Air Force do a parachute drop there, and some veterans dropped as well. I've got pictures of me stood with the veterans. And two of the soldiers jumping out of the planes broke their legs. And that was in peacetime, during a big event, just dropping onto flat ground. And two soldiers broke their legs and ambulances had to take them away. So you imagine what it's like dropping in enemy
territory. I bet the veterans were fine, weren't they?
Yeah,
I
think the buddy jumped. I mean, they were actually British powers who dropped on the Germans in the Second World War. So they survived the first time landing on Ginkle Heath. They went back 50 years later and did it again.
This time without guns.
This time without guns, yeah, without people firing anti-aircraft.
Without seeing your mate pop out of the sky.
Actually, Ginkle Heath wasn't even defended by the Germans. There were no German troops on Ginkle Heath when it happened. And
who was defending them?
No one. There was no one there. It was empty. Because the Germans thought it was the stupidest place anyone would land. Because it was 8 miles from any town. So they never posted troops there to defend it. And that's where the British landed. And a German staff officer had heard, someone phoned him and said, "I've just seen some paratroopers landing." So he got in his car and drove over to find out what was happening, and some paras jumped out of a bus and shot him, a bush. And they machine gunned him. So he died. And it was a complete disaster because we could have taken him prisoner and found out where all the Germans were. But we didn't, we just shot him.
Well, yeah, that's what the magical sheep did recently.
Yeah, we're not getting into that. The magical shape-shifting sheep. Yeah, with a British accent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah.
The helicopter ride.
The free helicopter ride comes later. So the Fallschirmjäger are possibly one of the most elite units in the German army. But I will put a caveat on that and say paratroopers are the most elite unit in any army.
Yeah, I realise that.
Yeah, because in order you don't get signed up to the paratrooper, you don't turn up and get your helmet and your webbing and say, right, you take the third door to the left, you're infantry, you take fourth door to the left, you're paratrooper. It doesn't work like that. You have to volunteer. You have to actually want to jump out of a plane. And the reason you have to volunteer is because you are dropping troops behind enemy lines. And you need to rely on those troops. So these guys are volunteers, they want to be there. Most soldiers don't want to be there. Most soldiers will run away given half a chance. And I don't blame them, because I'd run away given half the chance.
I'd run away given quarter the chance.
Yeah, the moment an officer's not looking, I'm running off. I'm on a bike driving away, you know. or hanging on the back of a truck. Anything to get out of there. I don't want to be on the front line.
Or on the edge of the plane while it's taking off.
Yeah, just like don't do that. Just get a job in a tent in the command unit. You're fine. Just stay there.
Yeah, like the commanders do.
Yeah, like the commanders do. So
Be the waiter, like gives them coffee.
yeah, actually, it could be a chef.
Yeah.
They always need chefs, and the enemy probably don't shoot chefs.
Actually, no, because Mum's granddad was
A medic.
medic, and he was given a gun and sent to the front lines. So pretty good, yeah.
Well, your mother's father. That's your granddad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to work that one out myself. It's really clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your granddad, he fought in Malaya, and they had to carry rifles because if you didn't carry a rifle, they'd cut your head off.
Oh.
So, and he buried the Scots, the Scots that were massacred there, and they cut all the Scots' heads off. That's what they did in Malaya. Terror tactics. So he didn't enjoy Malaya at all, and he was a medic, he didn't want to fight.
Well, medics are supposed to save people's lives.
Yeah, but he ended up having to use a rifle just because they were trying to kill him.
And we have noticed in games, medics are very unreliable.
Yeah, we have. Medics tend to be completely useless in games. I've discovered that. But anyway, that's besides the point. I mentioned your great-grandfather, which is your mother's grandfather. He was an engineer in the Black Forest. He was a tank engineer, and he ended up actually crewing a tank.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, it's a different war. Because they'd run out of tank crew. The regiment had run out of tank crew, and so he was an engineer, knew how it worked, so he ended up driving a tank, which is not what you sign up for.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I suppose you know how it works,
Yeah.
but you're not a trained combat engineer. You're not in a combat. You don't drive a tank in battle. You just repair it and drive it to the depot.
Yeah.
But we'd actually run out of trained tankers by the end of the war.
Actually, they're probably all alive. It's just that their tank broke down in the city. So yeah.
Oh yeah, Allied tanks had a tendency to break. All tanks had a tendency to break
especially
down.
Russian tanks. Yeah.
Especially Russian tanks. The Russians used to tie 3 or 4 tanks together, so at least one of them would keep going and drag the others.
Yeah.
The Russian tanks were awful. Yeah. Anyway, this is the fallschirmjäger, and I think they're pretty cool. You're going to see them painted up soon, and you're going to see what we're going to do with them. It's going to be quite interesting. So
you did just tell at the beginning of the video.
I did. So thank you very much for watching. It's goodbye from him.
So if you enjoyed this video, please like and
sorry.
subscribe, and comment down below how dumb he is for forgetting the ending of the video.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. That's everything from me.
And everything from him. Now can I say it?
Yeah.
Right, goodbye from him. Bye. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.
Yeah.